Hi my loves, welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I'm Star. Today I'm here with a dream. In this dream, I was getting ready to go on a bus or airplane. This is another traveling dream. I had this one last night too. Okay, so while I'm getting ready to get on this bus or this airplane, I'm waiting on my spouse to come with me. However, he leaves without me. Okay, and once I notice that he has left already, I decide to leave. I make it to the bus slash the plane station, and I start having problems with my ticket. While I'm having problems with my ticket, I see my spouse and I'm asking him to help me. However, he acts like he doesn't know me. And when he does this, I was just like, okay. And I figure it out myself. And I decide at that point in time, I decide to stay away from him and to just sit at a separate seat. And since you act like you don't know me, I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it was. Okay. So I take my seat and I begin to start socializing with the other passengers on the plane or the bus. Like I'm just meeting people and talking to people. My spouse sees this and he puts forth the effort to try to stop people from being friends with me. And I was just like, okay. And then after that happens, the person who is in charge of the bus slash the flight befriends me. And that was the end of this dream. The scripture comes from Mark 12 and 13. They next sent some Pharisees and Herodians after him to catch him in his speech. The two groups came and said to him, Teacher, we know you are a truthful man, unconcerned about anyone's opinion. It is evident you do not act out of human respect, but teach God's way of life sincerely. Is it lawful to pay the tax to the emperor or not? Are we to pay or not to pay? Knowing their hypocrisy, he said to them, Why are you trying to trip me up? Bring me a coin and let me see it. When they brought one, he said to them, Whose head is this and whose inscription is it? Caesar's, they told him. At that, Jesus said to them, Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, but give to God what is God's. Their amazement at him knew no bounds. Okay, so here's the message. Um, I just feel like in this message, like y'all, I legit just saw my husband before I even started the video. You better not ever do this to me. But anyways, in this message, I feel like God is saying that even if you find yourself in a situation where somebody has decided that they don't like you, okay, they no longer like you. They no longer like you to an extent that they act as if they don't know you. They treat you as if you're not there. They deliberately, in this situation, I didn't even know how my spouse was feeling. So it really made me feel some kind of way. It really hurt me. But I just feel like God is saying, what is for you is for you, and what is not for you is not for you. God is not going to when God brings something into your life, it can't be taken away, okay? Regardless if it's the spouse or even considering the other passengers on a flight. I was just being nice, okay? I was just genuinely being nice and just trying to calm myself and get my mind off of what other things that were going on. And I just feel like God is saying that in the example of the person who was in charge of the flight, the person that befriended me, I feel like this person is a representative of God. God is in charge of the flight. God is in charge of our lives and our destinies and where we're going. And even if while we're on this flight, certain people that are on the flight with us decide that they don't want to be friends anymore, or they decide that they don't care about us anymore, they decide that they don't want to be around us anymore, we are still getting on the flight. Nobody can stop you from getting on the flight. Even when I had problems with my ticket and nobody wanted to help me, I was able to figure it out on my own. And I just feel like God is saying that Don't assume that just because someone has decided not to be your friend anymore, or somebody has decided they don't love you anymore, that God does not love you. Just like it says in the scripture, give to Caesar what is Caesar's, but give to God what is God's. So just because someone has decided that y'all are not friends anymore, it doesn't mean that you don't still belong to God. Like, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden God hates you. It doesn't mean all of a sudden God is not going to bless you. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden God is not going to give you, like, show you his love, show you his compassion, show you how he truly feels about you. And just like I said, even though all of the passengers decided they didn't want to talk to me no more, I was still able to talk to the person who was in charge of the flight. I was still able to talk to God. And there have been points in my life when your girl don't have no problem. I will sit and have a whole conversation with God in tongues, and not be worried about nothing. And just like, and sometimes we actually need that. Like, sometimes we need that. We need that clarity. We need that understanding, because there are times when I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to make it. I don't know what God has in store for me. Just last night before I went to sleep, I was just, talking to God, and God was like, before you say anything, say thank you. And, it's just like, I don't know what God has in store. I don't know what God sees in my future, but I know it has to be something good if he's telling me to say thank you. And I just feel like for somebody, you need to hear that. You need to hear God saying, give, like, whatever belongs to the world, leave it in the world. And what belongs to God, that is what you're going to collect. That's what you're going to receive. So the blessings that God has for you, you will receive. The promises that God has promised you, you're going to receive that. But all of this hurt, this pain, and this sadness, God is saying that is not your portion. Just because we cannot, and I say this all the time, I'm going to say it again, y'all. We cannot control the actions of other people. We cannot control how other people treat us. We can't control what other people say about us. And it is none of my business, your business, nobody's business of how other people feel about us, what they think about us, what their opinions are. It is what it is. Like, their opinion is their opinion. I know that for a fact you can't change somebody's opinion. Just by, proving them wrong, you can't change their opinion, because sometimes you prove them wrong and they'll try to say, well, I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true. I believe this. That's fine, okay? And I just feel like God is saying you will end up raising your blood pressure and stressing yourself out, worried about how somebody else feels. And in reality, their feelings towards you and what they think about you has no impact on your life. It has no impact on where God is taking you. It has no impact on where God has brought you from. It's literally just an opinion. It is what it is. And sometimes it's hurtful. Sometimes it can be hurtful, like in heartbreaking. It can be hurtful, like in literally heartbreaking. I'm being reminded of when I had found out that one of my closest friends betrayed me. And it broke my heart. Like, it literally broke my heart. And it broke my heart in a way that I had never experienced before. This is somebody I grew up with, somebody that, like, this is my ace boom coon. That was my, I would have never, this was my ride. Like, I was like, you would do this to me? It hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. I could literally feel my heart breaking. And I was just so hurt for days. She broke my heart worse than a man has broken my heart. And that, it confused me. I was shocked. I never imagined that I could be heartbroken by someone that I saw as a friend. And but that experience, it was an awful experience, but I feel like it was an experience that I needed to go through, because it showed me that if this person who I was so close to, who I loved, who I would have given anything. I would give her the wig off my head. I would give her my fur coats, my shoes, purses, whatever you want, you got it. And she would turn and stab me in the back the way that she did. Anybody could do it. And that was a lesson that I needed to learn, because I was always so trusting, and I was always so giving, and always so nice, and always so just, and a lot of times, especially like in certain areas when you are like that, people assume that they could just run over you. And that when that happened to me, it helped me to be okay with being alone. It helped me to be okay without having no friends. It helped me to be okay without having to every time something happened, have somebody to call, and I gotta call them and I gotta talk to them about it. And oh girl, you can't like I'm over it now. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And I realized that it caused more trouble trying to have a friend than it caused me any good. And yeah, that was an experience that I had to go through, but I got through it. Okay, your girl is good now, and it's not even to say that me and her, like, I hate her at this point. I still love her from afar, but I just know that me and her, we can't be friends no more, because I'm fool me once, okay. Fool me once, okay. Fool me twice, no, babe. You are not getting the opportunity to fool me twice, and that's just that. But yeah, God is saying that sometimes we have to go through these things. Sometimes we have to experience these things, and it allows us to grow. Not only that, but sometimes when you are really in the midst of feeling true heartache, when you are really in the midst of feeling true pain, you like you can't help but to call out on God. And heartache is the kind of pain, it's the kind of pain that you can't when someone is just looking at you, they can't tell that you're heartbroken. When someone is just sitting near you, they can't feel it, they can't touch it, they can't smell it, they don't know. And it's something where you really like literally have to call out on God, because God is the only one that can see into your heart and see your emotions and to see your feelings and to see how the pain that you feel. And that's the message, okay? That is the message. That is the message. I'm looking at Mark 12:30. Therefore you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Okay? So, and that's the message, okay? God is saying that you should still love everybody. But you just have to understand that you can't control the actions of others. You can't control how people treat you. You can't control what people decide to do. You never know. Somebody might just wake up one day, every day before that they loved you, you was their best friend, and they just wake up one day and say, I can't stand them. I'm finna do something to shake up their life. And it just be like, well, why would you do that to me? Like, what is wrong with you? What is possessing you? What kind of evil spirit that overtaking you? God is saying you can't control what people do. You can't make nobody do nothing. And all you can do is control your own actions and worry about yourself. And last but not least, the only thing that is going to be constant is the love that Christ has for you. That's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Deuces.